Hello, and in this video I'm going to give you the most valuable lesson I've ever learned about programming. This is a eureka moment I had about 6 months ago, and I think more people need to share it. Essentially, when you read programming tutorials for a particular programming language, they focus naturally on the syntax of that particular language, and then when you read like variables, control flow, so if statements, switch statements, constants, how you do for loops in the language, and things like that, constructs that are very particular to language. And then when you read high level materials, they'll focus on design patterns, things like MVC, model view controller, and things like that. But the thing that you really need to know that nobody ever tells you is that to develop a desktop app, it's the frameworks that are really important. The frameworks are things that are built on top of the language by the hardware manufacturers or the operating system creators that allow you to actually interact with that language. I'm going to do a further video on what APIs basically mean, but these frameworks are basically collections of APIs that the operating system authors have written to allow developers to interact with their stuff. So you don't, when you say, okay, I want to turn the camera of this device on, you don't, in high-level languages like Swift, Objective-C or C#, say, okay, well, how do I create a variable to represent the camera, because that's already been done for you. You find out how to use the framework to access the camera using the APIs that have already been built for you, and then you might create variables to represent constructs in your own program. But basically, my point is the low-level constructs like the variables and the syntax of the language aren't what you need to focus on. You need to focus on whether the language has got good frameworks to develop in. So Cocoa, Touch, iOS and UIKit is one of the best frameworks I ever come across. But Android also has an SDK, and anything you need to develop for really has an SDK. So I'm going to talk more about APIs and SDKs in a future video and what they really are and what they really represent. But that's what you need to focus on: the frameworks and the APIs rather than the syntax for a particular language. Clearly, the APIs will be influenced by what you can do in that language, but I'd suggest not obsessing when you're starting out on what the features of a particular language are, because you'll pick those up as you're reading and interacting with the API documentation. If you start interacting with the API documentation early, you'll get started quicker and you're less likely to burn out and get bored. So that's my advice. The one tip I learned that really helped accelerate my programming career, if you can call it that. Any thoughts on this, guys? Any comments about what helped you get started, or any thoughts on this topic? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like this video if you've liked it; it can really help out. Comment down below, like I said, and subscribe if you want more programming videos like this. I've got many more to come lately.